Hello everybody, and welcome to Ancient Architects. Please subscribe to the channel for regular content on ancient architecture, as well as all of the latest news from the world of archaeology. On the night of September 25th, 2010, a crime happened at Göbekli Tepe. A priceless, one-of-a-kind artefact was stolen from the site, and as far as I'm aware, it's never been recovered. Once again, I'd like to thank Jeffrey van der Lucht, who on Twitter is at history_rev, for making me aware of this. I've left a link to his profile in the description below. Back in 2010, the 11,600-year-old site was being excavated by the German Archaeological Institute, led by the late great Klaus Schmidt. On Saturday, September 25th, this statue was discovered in the north wall of Enclosure C. When it was discovered, it was estimated to be 11,000 years old, and it shows a tall human head and some kind of predatory animal on top of it. An old news article says it's possibly an eagle, but if it is a bird, from what we know of Göbekli Tepe, it's more likely to be a vulture. It was clearly part of a much larger statue, possibly a composite totem-like statue, like others found at Göbekli Tepe. But this broken part looks like it was reincorporated into the wall of the enclosure. It was very common for the ancient pre-pottery Neolithic people to reuse earlier stonework and statues, whether complete or broken, incorporating them into later phases of building. We've seen this in the recent excavations at Karahan Tepe, with the heads of human and animal statues reused. Even recently at Göbekli Tepe, a large painted wild boar statue was discovered, and this sat on top of an old T-shaped pillar that had been turned on its side and used as a bench in ancient building renovations. The building it was found inside, Building C, is the one with 3 perimeter walls. Over time, new walls were built on the inside of earlier ones, making the enclosure progressively smaller. We now know why remodelling and renovations took place, and it's all to do with damage from landslides. There is evidence the oval enclosures labelled A to D that sit inside a natural hollow in the limestone bedrock were being damaged from the movement of soil, rock and trash heaps from higher up. Being situated high on a hillside, Göbekli Tepe was exposed to wind, heavy rain and snow, and we also know that this region is subject to devastating earthquakes. There is evidence that these natural forces cause landslide events at Göbekli Tepe, destabilising the domestic structures built higher up on the slopes of the mound, and launching material down towards the oval enclosures. Here we can see a cross-section through part of Göbekli Tepe, and we can see how Building C is downslope to the other buildings at the site. And here is an artist's impression showing how the site was arranged, with the rectangular domestic structures encircling the large oval enclosures, and these are thought to have had a communal function. As stated, during its life, Building C was remodelled more than once. It appears the original outer wall became damaged, and so the structure needed stabilising. A new enclosure wall was built inside the original, and then, at a later stage, it looks as though another wall was built inside that one as well, and this was all to keep the enclosure going for as long as possible. It was kind of like a Russian doll, with the latest building phase being the middle one. The stolen statue was likely an original part of the earliest phase of Building C, and it's possible the statue was damaged in a slopeslide event. When stabilising and remodelling the enclosure, building new walls inside the older ones, the people brought the old statue fragment into the heart of the enclosure. The statue was around 40 to 50 centimetres in height. It was made of local limestone and apparently weighed between 30 and 40 kilograms. But on the night of its discovery, the artefact was stolen from the excavation site. A news article in the Turkish press said the theft was likely due to hostilities among workers involved in the excavation, because apparently it was a time when tensions among workers were high. It was stated that one of the workers orchestrated the theft, and that's because only those on site would have known of its discovery that day. An investigation was launched by authorities straight away, but from talk online 10 years later, the statue has never been recovered, and nobody was ever prosecuted for the theft. Thankfully, the artefact was documented and photographed, but if anyone has any more information on this statue, please do let me know, because details are scarce. After the theft, a valuation commission was appointed to appraise the value of the artefact, which was apparently 150,000 Turkish lira, which is around £3,600 or $4,500. According to a news article from April 2012, by being in charge of the excavations, the protection of the site was the responsibility of Klaus Schmidt, and so he felt obliged to pay the authorities the money for the stolen artefact. It should be stated very clearly that the authorities never implied that Klaus Schmidt or any of the German archaeologists were involved in the theft, and the money was only paid because the theft happened when Schmidt was responsible for the site's security. CCTV was installed after the incident, and round-the-clock security were employed, and this was to ensure that nothing like this would ever happen again, and as far as I'm aware it never has. But still to this day the artefact is lost, and right now it's probably sat in someone's private collection, and that really is a real shame. Either that or the statue has been too hot to handle, and so it could have been sat in someone's garden for the past 14 years. And so I would like to use the Ancient Architects channel to say that if you know of the statue's whereabouts, but are not sure quite what to do, please do get in touch, and maybe I can help facilitate its return. Göbekli Tepe is such an important site in the human story, and artefacts of this magnitude should be returned. But that may be some wishful thinking, but at least we have some pictures, and at least we know where it was discovered. The artefact may be lost, but it's certainly not forgotten. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Ancient Architects. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel, please like the video, and please leave a comment below. Thank you very much.